It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. And the month of August provides us with an opportunity to acknowledge the contributions made by women while also putting a spotlight on the challenges that women face in their lives every single day. Now, in 1956, roughly 20,000 women marched to the Union buildings in Pretoria to protest carrying pass books. This first National Women's Day was celebrated on the 9th of August, 1995, and has continued to be celebrated since then. Now, here to chat more about the significance of this day, we've asked Professor Amanda Gous from the University of Stellenbosch to join us this morning. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Oh, Prof, it is so good to connect with you this morning. I think many of us know the moment in time, but I don't think we fully understand the impact and just how powerful, how big this moment was. Can you take us back to that moment and what the knock-on effect was? What was that impact after this incredible moment?
Well, it was an incredible moment when 10,000 women marched to the Union buildings to demand human rights and the end of carrying passbooks. In many ways, they were more militant and activist than men who've been carrying passbooks for years by then. And so it showed us at that moment the power of women and the power of protest in terms of wanting to change political conditions. And what that's meant is that we have been celebrating this day every year since 1995 to honor those women who were actually quite fearless. If you think back, 1956 was right at the start of the apartheid regime, and you know the state at that point was really determined to enforce its laws.
Very important.
Bravery. Yeah.
Complete bravery. I mean, can we unpack the role that women played in the anti-apartheid movement and especially the impact it's having today?
Yeah.
Well, women, you know, I think has never got the recognition for their part in the anti-apartheid movement. But women were, for example, part of the organization in exile. Many of them were soldiers in Mkhonto Wesizwe, and at home they were actually fighting as we got closer to the end of apartheid. Many women were part of the United Democratic Front in women's organizations and in different ways participating in that last end of the struggle to end the struggle to end apartheid. And we also know that women fought on a platform of motherhood. So, you know, during that time when the apartheid regime started to imprison people or, you know, children would just disappear, women fought as mothers to end the violence against children, to end the violence against Black people in South Africa. And so they played a very important and central role in the anti-apartheid movement.
And for the most part, unsung. Unsung heroes. Now, lest we forget, and we're going to say it again, we have this day, and it's wonderful to have one day focused on the entire half of our population, which seems absolutely absurd to me. But the notion of having this opportunity to raise awareness, to hopefully galvanize action, is Women's Day doing what it was set out to do? Are we finding the platform is working? Are we propelling women in this opportunity? Is it landing like you would like to see it land?
Well, I don't think so. I think what we've seen over the years is that Women's Day has turned into events. All kinds of events are celebrated all over the country, but it doesn't speak to the structural problems of gender-based violence, of poverty and of inequality that hits women disproportionately. And so what we see is that, or what we should see is how women actually, when they celebrate this day, that there is some discussion with government and specifically with the Ministry for Women, Youth and People with Disabilities to change the conditions under which many women live. And the one thing I think that really needs to be fixed is the Commission for Gender Equality.
Yeah.
That is a Chapter 9 constitutional body that's basically dysfunctional and is deeply divided because of the politicization of that
Agendas.
institution.
Yeah.
So it's not doing the oversight work that's supposed to be done to make sure that legislation and policy is made for women. And I really think that, there is an obligation on government to fix this problem.
Yeah. And I mean, with the taxi strikes, we've seen this play out as women have been walking home after working a 12-hour shift while their 2 children are sitting at home, not being looked after, and we think it's fine because we sent everyone home early. It's okay. It's not okay. We need to see action. It's not just about celebration and learning. It's about action now in that legislative sense. Prof, thank you so much for being who you are in this space and just giving us an example today to highlight on air. It's been wonderful to connect with you, and I know this is your day job every single day, so thank you so much for driving this incredible narrative forward. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
There we go. That was Professor Amanda Goos from the University of Stellenbosch giving us a roundup of the meaning behind Women's Day.